Good day, good day, good day, everyone. I hope you are doing well. Welcome, excuse me, welcome to the Morning Sip with Rev Melissa. I am Rev Melissa, and SIP stands for Spirit in Practice, where you practice because practice makes progress. Yes, it does. Yes, it does. So, welcome everyone. Welcome to the show. I hope everyone is doing well. Good day, Pamela. It's good to see you. We are streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, and on New Thought Media Network. So, everyone, please get used to watching me on YouTube because I will slowly be making my transition off of Facebook onto YouTube. Um, I'll keep you posted. So let's just start cultivating that habit now. Let's start cultivating that habit now. So, y'all, there is a lot going on in the Nobles household. As most of you know, my Sugahs will be off to the next chapter of their lives, going to college, and it is a emotional time for me. And I decided, oftentimes oftentimes the SIP series is about something going on in my life, something going on in the world, a download. It could be a whole array of things that I get inspiration from for my morning sips. And so this week's series is personal. It's personal because I figured what's really helpful for me, and I know everyone processes feelings differently. And for me, a lot of times, oftentimes, it's helpful for me to process my feelings by sharing with the intention that my sharing will resonate with someone who may be going through something similar now or in the past or even in the future. And it may not be the same situation, but it may elicit the same feelings. And that's where I want to focus us on as I share this leg on my journey of being a mother, a mommy to two of the most amazing young women on the planet, in my opinion. My Sugahs is what I call them. And I've been calling them my Sugahs since they were babies because they were so sweet and they are so sweet. And as babies, they were very, very sweet. They were calm. They were, people were always saying to me, you know, having twins, they would often say, "Ooh, double trouble." And I would be like, double blessings, double blessings. Or they would say, "Ooh, girl, wait till the terrible twos, and you got two to go through with the terrible twos." I was like, mm-mm, terrific twos, terrific twos. And they were terrific twos. I had none of this none of this terrible twos. I had none of this double trouble foolishness. I just did not accept it. And I was very clear. We talk about our dreams last week, manifesting our dreams. And for me, becoming a mother was one of the dreams that manifested for me. But within that, I was very clear about the kind of mother and mothering that I wanted to be. I was very clear about that. You know, our parents really do the best that they can. And although I wouldn't say my childhood was pristine and perfect, I know that my mother and my father, although my father wasn't around most of my childhood growing up, I still know, even with that, that they both did the best that they could at the time, given the knowledge, given the consciousness that they were in at that time. And so just being in that space and having that realization has supported me through my journey as a parent. And one of the things that I was very clear about before my girls um, came, before I was even pregnant, I was very clear about the type of mother that I wanted to be. I was very clear that I wanted to be conscious of love. I wanted to be present for them. And there are a couple of things that I said that I would never say to them. And one of the things that I said that I would never say to them is because I said so. Because I remember growing up as a child that I was very inquisitive. I was very curious, especially about things that I would hear in church. And I would ask adults, I would ask my mother, and oftentimes the response would be because I said so. Or I would ask to do something and the answer would be no. And I would say, but why? Why can't I do this? Why can't I go there? Why can't I? That whole thing. And oftentimes the answer would be because I said so. And once I got that because I said so, it was a wrap. I knew don't go no further. And those times when I would push it a little bit, there were consequences. Another thing that I knew that I would never say when I had children, I would never say that horrible bedtime lullaby. Now I lay me down to sleep. I pray the Lord my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake. Now, what kind of lullaby is that? So I was like, that will not be one of the lullabies that I say to my girls, even as babies. I say to them, you are my sunshine. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. So that was one of the lullabies. And so, because they are going into this new chapter of college, I am like flooded, y'all. I am flooded with memories of them growing up, flooded with them. And technology helps in that because, I'll go on social media and it'll be like a memory thing will pop up. I'll I'll have the television on, and if it's idle for too long, it will show a slideshow of pictures from the years. And so pictures would come up on the screen from when they were in elementary school or babies, so just flooded with memories of them. And since I'm in this space, I decided why not have the series this week be my sugars? My sugars. And so, as energy would have it, as the universe would have it, our theme at Rockland CSL and the global theme for CSL, many centers this month, their theme and our theme is On the Wings of Love. And I just think that's the perfect theme for me to be sitting in for August because it is on the wings of love that I have mothered, on the wings of love I have parented, on the wings of love that my girls are flying. They're flying on the wings of love. And so I wanted to share a couple of things that I talked about this past Sunday at service. Our service this past Sunday was in person. It was wonderful. Um, and to start off our theme on the Wings of Love. My message on Sunday was love's ascent. Love's ascent. And so I want to share with you this definition from Bell Hooks. And Bell Hooks is sharing M. Scott Peck's definition of love. The definition from M. Scott Peck is the will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. Love is as love does. The will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. For me, that is the perfect definition of what being a parent is. And even if you don't have biological children, if you have children that are in your universe as an auntie, an uncle, as a cousin, as a guardian, as a mentor, whatever it may be, I think this is a very powerful definition of love to guide through. The will to extend oneself for the purpose of nurturing one's own or another's spiritual growth. That is the most important job to me as a mother, to nurture my children's spiritual growth. So what that means for me is they may do and say things that I don't particularly like, right? They may decide that this is the path for them. And as a representative of love, I nurture that with them because it's for their spiritual growth. I cannot determine, even as their mother, I cannot determine what ebbs and flows, peaks and valleys, opportunities and challenges are required for them to experience for their own spiritual growth. I cannot manipulate that. I cannot negotiate that. They are on their own spiritual journey as souls in human form. So it was predetermined. It was predetermined. Their souls have determined before they came into this physical form what that spiritual journey will be for them. And my job as their mother is to nurture, support, and hold space for them to go and to grow. Now, let me tell you, it ain't all peaches and unicorns. It's not all rainbows and deliciousness all the time. There are challenges. But what in life that's worthy of your time and your effort, of your love, where there are not challenges? It's just peace. It's just a piece of the journey, right? It's just a piece of the journey. So you all know I've shared that my girls will be going to both are going to an HBCU schools, and that stands for Historically Black Colleges and Universities. Aria will be going to Spelman College, and Zola will be going to Tuskegee University. Very, very historical, very, very prominent HBCUs and colleges, period, in and out of HBCUs. These are very prominent colleges, and I am very proud of them because they both set the intention to attend HBCUs, but specifically these particular colleges when they were very young, especially Aria. Aria knew she wanted to go to Spelman when she was in the third grade. And as Zola um, as Zola got clearer and clearer that she wants to be a veterinarian, and one of the most prestigious veterinarian schools is Tuskegee. A fun fact is that 75% of Black veterinarians went to Tuskegee. So I think that's a really good track record, a really good track record. So I am, and so is Marco, very proud and grateful and joyful that this vision that they held for themselves has come into fruition, and that they understand, because it was important to me and Marco as their parents, that they understood and practiced using the power of setting intentions, of stating what their goals are, of writing them down. They wrote these things down, y'all, of writing them down and of being focused, focus on that goal and knowing what the requirements are to obtain it. So they were very clear that they have to do very well in school, and they both did very well in school. Aria was a valedictorian at her school. Zola was in the top 10 at her school. So very clear that academics, excelling in academics, is important for them to reach their goal. And they were very focused on that. And to be honest, Marco and I didn't have to do a lot of pushing in that regard. They would do their work. I know when I was a kid, I didn't want to do my homework. I didn't want to do my work. I didn't really like school that much. All the things, right? All of that stuff as a child growing up and as a teenager. But they were very focused about what the goal is. And that foundation of that was built through our parenting of them and through our understanding that they know that they can manifest their dreams, that they can manifest their dreams. It's not up to me as their mother. It's not up to Marco. What's up to me and Marco is to nurture their spiritual growth, to support their dreams, right? To advise and relay wisdom, right? But the bottom line is they're going to do what they're going to do. That's the bottom line. Just like when I was a kid, no matter what my mother said to me, and my mother's on here, my mother's on here, so she know I'm speaking the truth. Regardless of what my mother said to me, I'm going to do what I'm going to do. And sometimes that was good, and sometimes that was not so good. Always consequences, always consequences. So, On the Wings of Love is supporting me so much because I am on an emotional roller coaster. I don't know what's going to set me off to like burst into tears. I am very tender right now. And so I know for myself to be as gentle and as forgiving of myself right now because I'm going through experience. I'm going through an experience that I've never gone through before. Never gone through this before. So recognizing that is my first time, it's Marco's first time to be gentle and kind with myself, gentle and kind towards Marco, gentle and kind towards my girls as we navigate something that none of us has experienced before. So I want to share one other thing, and then I'm going to share a couple of things share some joy news. Or I might stop right here since I can't find it immediately. Yeah. So I'll stop here. Let me check in with you all and then we get into some joy news. Good day. Say cool. Hey, mommy. Eunice Gibson is my mother. Yes, mommy. It certainly does take a vision. It takes a village. You're my mother. Amen. Amen. We went through a lot. Yes, we did, mommy. We went through a lot. I was quite the teenager, quite the rebel. And and it's okay. It was part of my spiritual growth. It was part of my spiritual journey. And I think I turned out well. I think I turned out well, mommy. And through that all, my mother never gave up hope. My mother never stopped loving me, even when I would do the very opposite of what she told me. And like I said, there are consequences, and I had to face those consequences, knowing that my mother had my back always. So I am very grateful for that. So let's get into some joy news. So I want to remind everyone that our community cafe are offering through Rockland Centers for Spiritual Living, where I am the spiritual leader. Our community cafe is on hiatus for the month of August. We will return the first Wednesday in September with visioning. So tomorrow there is no community cafe. Speaking on hiatus, I will be taking vacation. I will be on hiatus for the very reason that I'm sharing today. My Sugahs are going off to college, and we will be driving south for the journey. So this Friday will be the last live sip, and then the rest of the month will be replays. And I will probably be sharing replays from 2020, sip from 2020, the first year that I did morning sip with Rev Melissa, probably before it was even called morning sip. You might see a couple of those episodes as well. So starting on Friday, I will be returning September 2nd. All right. So please watch the replays. Please comment. Please do all the things that you do now. There are probably episodes that you've never seen if you have not been following me since the very beginning in 2020. So it'll be new to you as well. So mark your calendars. This Thursday, we'll be doing our meditation with the full moon, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Time, right where you're watching me now. And our meditation with the full moon at 8:30 p.m. is an opportunity for you to experience a full spiritual practice of inspirational reading, inspirational journaling, meditation, and prayer. So it's one of my favorite things to do are meditations with the full moon at 8:30 p.m. And it's so funny because the replays on Monday, y'all know Mondays I do replays as well. And the replays on Monday for the last couple of Mondays have been the story series. And that was in 2020, December of 2020. And I share and joy news. Of course, I edit all this out now, but when I'm watching it to see what I need to edit, I'm sharing about meditation with the full moon back in 2020, and we did the meditation with the full moon at 4 a.m. Eastern time, and we did it at 4 a.m. Eastern time for many moons. And let me tell y'all, it was wonderful. And no, I was not on all by myself. I was on with folks. Folks were up with me at 4 a.m. So shout out to Nan and shout out to Sekou. Shout out to Jean. Shout out to Tim. Shout out to Julian. Those were some of like the true hearts that would journey with me at 4 a.m. for our meditation with the full moon. So I just got a tickle when I was watching that yesterday when I was putting up the replay. 4 a.m. y'all. Meditations with the full moon. It was awesome. But now we do 8:30 p.m. and I think that that fits for more people. But maybe every now and then I might just drop in and do a 4 a.m. meditation with the full moon. All right. So that's all I will share in the joy news today. I hope everyone is having a wonderful today. If you're not, take a deep breath and just reset. Just reset. You could reset your day right now. Right now. All right, y'all. So, peace and blessings, everybody. Peace and justice. We are living life in joy, connected to our yes.